For decades, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have been one of Hollywood's most beloved couples, a picture of devotion, humor, and family-first values. From their steamy, All My Children days to co-hosting Live with Kelly and Mark, the duo has long appeared bulletproof in a landscape of short-lived celebrity marriages. But now, a stunning revelation threatens to fracture that narrative. An other wife has surfaced, and Ripa is left grappling with what this means for the relationship she thought she understood. The revelation didn't come through a salacious tabloid exposé or anonymous tipster. It unfolded, shockingly, right on national television. During a recent taping of their morning talk show, what started as a casual conversation spiraled into a moment of deeply personal reckoning. Viewers looked on as Kelly's signature wit took on an edge of disbelief, while Mark, caught between amusement and awkwardness, tried to explain away what he meant when referencing a figure he jokingly called his other wife. The segment began innocently enough. The couple were discussing travel habits, specifically Mark's solo trips to various film and television sets. As he recounted stories from the road, including a now infamous shoot in New Mexico, he casually dropped the phrase, "My other wife handled everything." The studio audience laughed. Kelly did not. "What do you mean? Other wife?" she asked, arching an eyebrow. The audience picked up on the tonal shift, murmurs of intrigue rippling through the studio. Mark, clearly realizing the potential minefield he'd wandered into, tried to clarify. It's just what I call the producer who basically takes care of me when I'm on set, makes sure I have my lunch, runs my schedule, keeps me from missing flights." But Kelly wasn't satisfied with the explanation. "So she's like, your handler? Or she's the person who knows more about your daily life than your actual wife?" Suddenly, the tone wasn't banter, it was confrontation. The rest of the segment carried on with laughs and scripted jokes, but eagle-eyed viewers and celebrity gossip blogs had already clipped the moment. Social media exploded with speculation. Was this just playful teasing, or did Kelly Ripa really feel blindsided by a deeper emotional connection her husband had formed outside their marriage? In the days following the episode, online forums dissected every facial expression, every twitch in Mark's body language, every pause Kelly took before responding. What some dismissed as a light-hearted exchange, others labeled as a breaking point. TMZ, Page 6, and countless other entertainment outlets began digging. Who was this other wife? Was she a long-standing figure in Mark's professional life or someone new? What exactly did she do for him that seemed so intimate it prompted a moment of insecurity from Ripa herself? Soon enough, the identity of the woman in question surfaced. A 39-year-old producer named Bianca Morales, who has worked with Consuelos on several projects over the past 3 years. Known within the industry for her efficiency, charisma, and ability to build tight-knit rapport with actors, Morales had earned the nickname, Set Mom, among crews for how closely she worked with her talent, especially Mark. Former co-workers spoke anonymously to reporters. "Bianca's not just a scheduler," one source said. "She's a confidant. She gets emotionally invested in the people she works with, and they rely on her." Mark and Bianca have a dynamic that's very close. They get each other. It's like work-wife levels of connection. That phrase, work-wife, was used repeatedly in coverage of the situation. But it's one thing to have a professional bond. It's another when your actual spouse reacts like the trust is suddenly on shaky ground. Friends close to Kelly revealed she hadn't been aware of the depth of Mark's working relationship with Morales. While she'd met her once or twice at rap parties, she didn't realize her husband referred to Morales as other wife when Kelly wasn't around. She was stunned, one source said. Kelly's whole thing is openness. She and Mark have always shared everything, sometimes overshared. So the idea that there's this person in his life who he relies on that heavily, and she didn't know about it in that way, that rocked her. The fallout was immediate. While the couple continued filming live, with their usual chemistry, sources noted that behind the scenes, tension was palpable. You could tell Kelly was pulling back a little. One crew member told ET. She wasn't laughing as hard at his jokes. She stopped reaching for his hand during breaks. Meanwhile, Mark tried to do damage control, both on and off camera. In an Instagram post shared days after the episode aired, he uploaded a carousel of family photos, him with Kelly and their kids, interspersed with memories from vacations, celebrations, quiet dinners. The caption read, "My heart, my home, my everything. Always." The gesture was seen by some as a heartfelt apology, but others criticized it as performative. "If you need to remind your wife she's your everything, after joking about having another one," wrote one commenter, "you might need to reevaluate your boundaries." The conversation quickly shifted from gossip to a larger cultural moment. Psychologists and relationship experts weighed in on television panels and online blogs, discussing the thin line between emotional fidelity and physical affairs. Is a work spouse cheating if there's no physical intimacy, but emotional reliance is present? What happens when that bond threatens the real marriage? Kelly Ripa, a seasoned host who's never been afraid to get personal on air, addressed the controversy during the following week's show, but not in the way some expected. Rather than issuing a statement or denying the awkwardness, she used the moment as a launchpad for a wider discussion. "Mark and I have been together a long time," she said. "And any couple that's been married for decades knows. There are surprises. You think you know every story, every relationship, every nickname. And then bam, your husband casually reveals he has a second wife." The studio laughed, but the tone was less chuckling and more cathartic. "It's weird," she continued, "when you suddenly realize you're not the only woman who knows your husband's coffee order, or reminds him to take his vitamins, or hears his complaints before he comes home." Ripa didn't name Bianca Morales directly, but her message was clear. She had been caught off guard, and she was trying to process it in real time, both as a wife and as a public figure. From there, the narrative morphed again, into one of resilience. Friends close to the couple insist the incident has sparked long overdue conversations. "They've been going nonstop for years," one insider said. "Kids, careers, live TV, it's been a blur." This forced them to pause and talk, really talk, about what emotional connection means, what boundaries look like, and what they need from each other. Ripa's fans, overwhelmingly supportive, flooded her social media with messages of solidarity. "You're allowed to be hurt by something like that," one user wrote. "It doesn't make you insecure, it makes you human." Mark, for his part, has remained relatively quiet outside the initial apology-esque post. Sources say he's focusing on regaining trust, assuring Kelly that while Morales is an important colleague, she doesn't occupy the same place in his heart.